Welcome to the Mile High Podcast. This is your host, Dr. Daniel Knowles. Thank you for joining us wherever you are listening or watching from. And wherever you're watching or listening from, I highly encourage you to make sure that you hit subscribe so you are always tuned into Mile High Tech. And also recommend that you mark your calendar now for Mile High 11. Yes, 11. These go to 11 to be Mile High 11, September 21st, 24th, 2023. Just clear your calendar. There's nowhere else that you want to be other than a Mile High on that date. So today I'm really thrilled to introduce as a guest on the podcast Brooke Mills, who is a 10th quarter student at Sherman College. And she's done so many things already that are phenomenal before she even has her DC degree, including that she was our student speaker contest winner for Mile High 10 this past year. Thank you for joining us today, DC to be Brooke Mills.
Thank you so much for having me, Dr. Danny. It's such a pleasure to always be in your presence and get to talk with you and chat with you about all things chiropractic.
Well, back at you, we feel the same way about you. Let's start out with having people get to know you personally. So, how did you grew up in a chiropractic family? So, share a little bit about your route to becoming a chiropractor and what it was like growing up in a chiropractic family.
Absolutely. Well, I was born in Davenport, Iowa, while my mom was still a student at Palmer. And I went through a year of classes with her. I even got a little certificate for having gone to so many classes and final exams.
Wow.
But I really grew up in the philosophy. I grew up in the heart of chiropractic in Davenport, and then I moved to New Hampshire, where my mom has 3 practices throughout the state. And so I've really only known the chiropractic way of life. I've never been vaccinated. I've grown up knowing the philosophy of chiropractic. I've grown up ever since a little girl. I've been saying the body chiropractic because the body heals itself. That was a little slogan that my mom had me say on her radio commercials. And that was something that I knew so personally. And so growing up, I was a competitive dancer, and I never took any pain medications or Advil or what have you. I knew a fever was a really good sign and that my body was trying to heal and recover from something that was not supposed to be in my body. And I'm just so appreciative of the different outlook on life that chiropractic has provided for me and that my mom ultimately provided for me.
That's so awesome. And what was it like? Now, you've been to Mile High how many times? I lost track.
Twice.
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 This was your second, or this was your second time?
Yes, this is
Got
my
it.
second.
And so, what did you enjoy about Mile High the first time that made you want to go back?
Mile High the first time was actually in the height of COVID for me.
Oh,
And so, during that crazy time, Mile High absolutely amplified my energy for chiropractic and really helped me feel more secure with the future of our profession. I was feeling very scared and very nervous for what a lot of chiropractors were being faced with. My mom had to wear masks. We weren't in school. I was doing school virtually, learning microbiology and biochemistry. And I lost that vision of what chiropractic is and how much chiropractic offers other people. I grew up, working at my mom's office. And so I got to see those miracles every day and how much chiropractic helped all of the patients that came into the office and seeing the babies and doing those house calls. That was what I lived for. But going away to school, moving here down to South Carolina and being removed from that and then removed from the classroom, it was super hard. And so going to Mile High, I just regained all of the energy and more that I had ever had about chiropractic, and helped me feel more centered and more energized for school to get through the rest of school. And now I'm in 10th quarter. I think I was in 3rd quarter my first time going to Mile High. And so it really gave me all of the energy that I needed and much more.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then you were inspired to enter the student speaker contest. To say something, share about that.
Yes, well, I probably shouldn't say this, Danny, but I I submitted my application the last day, with a
Oh,
very few hours to spare. But, I had this inclination to be able to, apply for this opportunity. It's an incredible opportunity that no other seminar or chiropractic series, offers students. And so I wanted to take advantage of that and make sure that I was, doing all the things that are in my capabilities to apply for and grow myself in different ways of life. And so I was honored and really excited to be able to apply. I was excited to be able to share my message of, educating children on the chiropractic way of life and how important and vital that is for the future of our profession, as well as what it was like growing up as a chiropractic baby, as well as suffering a mild traumatic brain injury. And losing 5 years of my life, there was something special in me that I just wanted to be able to share. And so I was really honored to be chosen as the Mile High Student Speaker Award. And I couldn't recommend it more to other students as well as other DCs, because you have a DC Speaker Award as well. And so it's an incredible opportunity that I couldn't be more thankful for. And it's just awesome that you and the Mile High team provide that.
and you rocked it. You were phenomenal. I know people are going to want to see the recordings of it. You were phenomenal. What did it feel like being on stage in that kind of environment?
It was very unique. It was exhilarating. I was very excited, but also very nervous. Like I mentioned, I suffered a concussion or a mild traumatic brain injury. And so I founded National Concussion Awareness Day, and I started doing a lot of advocacy work for brain injury survivors. And so something that I was very familiar with is speaking on behalf of brain injury survivors, whether that's in the classroom or on Capitol Hill, or at other events. And so speaking about chiropractic was something that I knew so well, but I have done way less of. And so it was very exhilarating to be able to have that opportunity to share my chiropractic story and why I value chiropractic so much as a young adult. But it was really incredible to be able to sit through that entire weekend and hear the amazing lineup of speakers.
It was an amazing lineup, and the energy was just nonstop, and it was great to have you add so much to it, especially as a student. So now you mentioned concussion. You founded a National Concussion Awareness Day. Can you say something about what happened with you with concussions and your motivation to do that?
Absolutely. Well, like I mentioned, I was a competitive dancer. And so I didn't really play any sports other than that. And I didn't know what concussions were. And my mom was also very uneducated on what concussions were. And so I was in my mandatory high school gym class. And it was freshman year, we were playing team handball, which is like soccer and basketball combined. And I went to go pick up a ball, and a boy went to go kick that same ball and ended up kicking the left side of my face, knocking me unconscious. And I remember trying to find my way to the nurse's office. I had a pretty banged up black and blue eye. And my mom came and picked me up. We went to the office. She adjusted me. I had a salad and some juice, and she stuck me back in school. And it wasn't until later that afternoon I fell asleep in the middle of class. And I was a straight A student, so that was very, very unlike me. And it was, the pivotal moment that I knew that something was terribly wrong. And for the next few months, I could not retain any new memories. And that continued on to be about 2.5 years, a
Wow.
total of 5 years that I have no memory of, about 2.5 from before my brain injury.
And that's what ages? What ages?
I was kicked in the head when I was 14, so I can't remember till I was about 12 to about 17.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So it was very crazy. time, and my mom was obviously getting educated on what concussions were and how it was changing, my mood, my ability to think, sleep, eat. I had light sensitivity and noise sensitivity, and could no longer dance, and a plethora of things that completely changed about me. And we went to a concussion specialist. And as a young female that had never been on any medications, he prescribed me a Alzheimer's drug that was still in research. It was still in clinical trials. Pain medications, depression medication, and anxiety. And so, walking out at 15 years old, having never taken anything in my entire life, that an average person would walk in and then, take all of those prescriptions. Obviously, I didn't. It didn't align with my philosophy of life. And I wanted my body to be able to heal, and I wanted to continue to listen to the signals that my body was providing me. But it really lit a fire under my butt to, be an advocate for other concussion survivors, because we shouldn't be treated like that, or like we have a whole bunch of medical conditions. It's that our body and our brain is really needing to heal. And so I started being a peer-to-peer lecturer for the Brain Injury Association of America. And so I would go to schools and speak about concussions and why we need to take them seriously and why we need to listen to our body ultimately. It became just a really large passion of mine, and it's incredible the relationship between my brain injury and chiropractic, and how much chiropractic has helped me as well as other brain injury survivors. So it's something that, now I'm very educated on, and so is my mom when she has these young athletes coming in with traumatic brain injuries and concussions.
Mm-hmm. Wow, fascinating. And then you also set up, am I correct, a nonprofit related to this?
Yes. So I have an educational nonprofit. It's called Lessen the Impact Organization. And it's really where I'm able to use funds to educate other individuals. I've sent out the documentary Head Games to one school in every state across the nation. I've spoken to thousands and thousands of students, ultimately to just make sure that our students know to take them seriously. It's different when an adult comes in and speaks to them and says, take a concussion seriously, and mark your symptoms down and get a concussion baseline testing. But when another student or another person their age comes in and is able to express to them how much my concussion changed my life, they're really able to put it into better perspective. So it's been an incredible opportunity. I've been super
That's
thankful to be
amazing.
able to do.
Kudos to you for putting the energy into that. And I mean, one thing I noticed about you over the years, notice meeting you first at Mile High 2020, and connecting with you on and off since then at different events, is that you focus so much on service. I noticed you did a number of mission trips. I keep seeing posts about that. Tell us about that.
Yes, I've actually served on 8 international mission trips, all
Wow.
being chiropractic related. Starting since I was 13 years old, I went to Bolivia with my mom, and we toured 9 different orphanages and adjusted the children there. And it was so eye-opening, one of the most wonderful experiences I've ever had to date. And I can't wait to bring my children someday overseas to be able to see how other individuals live and how lucky we are to be here with the rights and the values that we have in the United States. So I brought Spanish books to orphanages in Bolivia because I obviously was not adjusting at 13 years old. But I recently just returned last Tuesday from the Dominican Republic, serving on an upper cervical mission trip. And so that was incredible to also bring some vitamins and some love and some chiropractic care to all of the children in different villages and Haitian refugees.
Wow, that sounds so exciting. So it sounds like mission trips are something you'd encourage other students to do.
Absolutely. I love being able to serve in that capacity. Like you said, the service is pretty much the name of the game for me, and it's why I get so excited about chiropractic, for how much we can serve the people, serve individuals, and help bring to light the power of the body. And so mission trips is such an incredible way to be able to reach a different audience that needs you more than anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So amazing. And I've tended one of the things that Tony Robbins often says is that if you want to live an abundant life, serve. The more you serve, the more it will all come back to you. You can't outgive the giver. Student now, so a lot of people, some people listen to this that are our podcasts that are chiropractic students. Actually, a growing number of chiropractic students. However, a lot of people are DCs and they may have graduated 10, 20, 30 years plus ago. What can you share about what it's like being a chiropractic student today?
Today we are seeing so many different shifts within the profession, and that affects everybody, and it also affects the students as well. But at Sherman, we are seeing so many individuals be passionate about the research and wanting to have more background in the chiropractic literature, which is something that I also share values for. We're also seeing people just really passionate to be able to get out into the world and be able to serve as chiropractors. Past a chiropractic student, I am now in clinic at Sherman College. So it's, a transitional time where I'm getting to my last year at school, which is very surreal. But it's just been so great at Sherman to be able to see the changes that they're making, to be able to serve more people and offer more opportunities for students, and also having more clubs and involvement on campus. So all in all, it's really, really great.
Excellent. And so with all of that, you also had time, and I don't know how, to be involved in pageants somehow. Can you share about that?
Yes, well, I mentioned that my mom went to Palmer Chiropractic College, and she was actually crowned Miss New Hampshire in 1995, and she was awarded a full ride scholarship to Palmer. And so she was a Latin major before, but also knew the power of chiropractic because a chiropractor had helped her with her ear infections as a child. And she took that opportunity and had a full ride and didn't have to pay anything to Palmer. And so I have been seeking that same scholarship for Sherman College of Chiropractic by competing for Miss New Hampshire within the Miss America organization. To date, I've received over $45,000 in cash scholarship. So that definitely helps. And I will continue to compete for the title of Miss New Hampshire. And if I am to capture that title and that job, I'll have a full ride to Sherman.
Wow, that is so amazing. And
yes.
Have you competed? I know nothing about this, and probably a lot of our listeners may not. Have you competed once, twice? What can you share?
I have competed 5 times, and I placed 3rd and 4th every single time. So
interesting.
Just need a little extra boost.
Well, go for it. So, what's the next competition?
It'll be next April.
Okay.
So we've got a while.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Well, and what excites you about finishing school and being actually, getting to be a chiropractor instead of, in addition to school and growing up into a chiropractic family? What are you looking forward to being out of post-graduating?
Post-graduating, obviously, having service be the name of the game for me. I'm excited to serve communities. I'm excited to get out into a community. Right now I've got my running list of about 6 different locations that I'm looking at currently, and starting on some, business names and registering trademarks and what have you, which is all the nitty-gritty paperwork stuff that I'm also excited to get through and get done. But I'm excited to really get out into a community and serve the babies and the children and the moms and the families, and just build a representation of what true chiropractic is within that community that I choose. So I'm very excited.
Excellent. Now, another area to ask you about, I don't know to what degree, so you could share for others here. You are involved to some degree with McCoy Press and the Foundation of Vertebral Subluxation as well, I believe. Can you share about that?
Yes. So I work a little bit as their event coordinator and their,
Ah,
Sherman liaison, and being able to be a representative of the research that we do. So I have the pleasure and honor of traveling to different seminars, different series, whether it's Mile High or the Florida Chiropractic Association, and representing the research that we do with McCoy Press and the Foundation of Vertebral Subluxation, as well as Dr. McCoy's malpractice insurance company, Chiro Futures. So it's an incredible opportunity. I couldn't have been more thankful to be chosen to have this job for my, time as a Sherman student. And we're doing a whole lot of research at Sherman, and so much of it is through the Foundation of Vertebral Subluxation. So to be able to travel and, educate other individuals on what we're doing and why it's so vital and important to, put proceeds and put money into research that uses the term subluxation and not manipulation. That's research that's really true to our chiropractic roots and what we want to see chiropractic continue to do in the future. And the really cool way that malpractice insurance ties into that is that we find the research and we're creating the research that then backs us up when issues arise, or people don't want chiropractors to be saying how the immune system is affected by chiropractic. So it all really comes full circle, and it's great to be able to be involved in that.
well, that's all super exciting. I have to say, with not graduating yet, right? So still being away a little bit to close to graduation, but still being away. I'm excited since you've impacted lives in so many ways. While a student and before going to chiropractic school, what you continue to do in your future for humanity and for the chiropractic profession. So really thrilled to see that. And I'm going to keep watching you in terms of that. So
Thank you.
I'm going to make sure you raise the bar too. So now, also, do you have a favorite quote or something words that you live by that inspire you?
Absolutely. I share that, you know, service is what it is for me. I have a quote that my grandfather put on his refrigerator, and I never found it until he had later passed, but it was, let me do any good thing I can do now, for I shall not pass this way again. And so making sure that I'm sharing myself with the world, with my heart on my sleeve, and always ready and able to serve. When we were on the mission trip this past time in the Dominican, I was able to, hug and share and love all the babies and the children that I wanted to. But there was a doctor who was also there doing, casting for amputees. A lot of times overseas, individuals cannot get their injuries treated, and it's often treated as the lose it. It's an amputation rather than treating the severe damage of a leg or an arm or what have you. And so there was an amputee who needed a lot of help, and I was able to hold his leg while we were getting it casted. And that was not something that I had, signed up for, but I was there and they needed that help, and I was ready and able to serve. And so, walking into every room and every situation, knowing that you're there to serve in some capacity helps me get through every day and helps me, live with a purpose, even as a student and not yet as a practicing doctor.
Wow, it's so exciting. Is there any other thing that you'd like to share with chiropractic students? The chiropractic students relative to chiropractic, Sherman, Mile High, anything?
I would always tell students to make sure that your cup is filled up. Like I mentioned, when 2020 hit, I was a little worried about what my education was going to look like, what chiropractic was going to look like for me, and how, my world as I knew it was changing. And so Mile High filled my cup up. And so whether that's going to philosophy nights, chatting with other students about green books and what have you, or going and attending Mile High, make sure that you're challenging yourself and filling your cup up. And so my challenge for myself was to, submit my application for that student speaker. And I couldn't have been more honored and grateful to have been chosen and been able to share my message and my story on the Mile High stage. So challenge yourself, always, want more than what the average student does, and make sure that your cup's filled up, because you can truly do anything if you're ready and you're prepared to serve and challenging yourself daily.
I have to tell you, when we first did the speaker contest for Mile High, I had it as an idea and I was nervous about it because I thought people are going to think, oh, he can't even get people to speak. He's doing, letting people audition or something like that. But honestly, I saw TEDx having listings for Enter to be part of the TEDx presentations in Colorado. I said, oh wow, this looks so brilliant. And I hadn't thought of inviting people that have not had the opportunity to speak at a chiropractic conference to be on stage, or DC and a student. And sincerely, each year, it's my favorite part. Every single year. And because they bring such an energy and novelty, and they're so eager to be on stage like you were, and so also grateful. And you can feel that it's a palpable energy that brings a certain even heightened level of authenticity. And we like everything heightened at Mile High. So, so it was really delightful to have you there. So thank you. Keep changing, keep impacting lives in all the different ways you're doing that, from mission trips through Miss New Hampshire, through the concussion organization that you started, and also on chiropractic tables, especially after you graduate. So thrilled for you. And thank you for being part of Mile High. We look forward to having you there attend again next year. Make sure you get your mom there too. Okay?
Yes. I will.
Yeah, and we recommend everybody mark your calendar. In fact, you can mark yourself as going. milehighchiro.net is all the details. You can just say, I'm going to be there, whether or not registering yet or not. By the way, registration deadline is July 1st, but you can just mark yourself as going, and then clear your calendar that you want to be on higher ground in September of 2023. So and keep changing spines and lives and minds with chiropractic.